This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, guys. So once you have the Azure account ready, first of all, what you need to do is you need to go to resource group and
Do you want me to delete this also?
no,
Oh,
leave it as it is. So currently we have one resource group called RG_SEA. Let's create one another resource group, or I just want to show you how you can create your resource group. So click on add. Resource group is basically to put all the resources in like in one container, in one folder. So all the resources will be associated to a resource group, so that it will be easy for us to find out how many resources we have in a resource group. Okay, so rg underscore and yeah, central us, so cus, and click on review plus create. Okay,
go to the resource group. Or
refresh, just
refresh.
refresh. No, you have refresh next to add button. Yes. Okay, that's how you create your resource group, guys. Now at the left hand side you have so many tabs available, right? So it will be little confusing to to have all these tabs. So let's have only those tabs which we need. So click on all services. Now remove the star mark from all resources. Remove the star mark. Yes. Then remove the star mark from cost and billing, right hand side, cost and billing, and just below that you have help and support. Yeah, remove the star mark from app services. Go down, load balancer, we don't need load balancer. Then storage account at the left hand side. Then what else? Azure Cosmos DB, we don't need. SQL database, we don't need.
We're not going to create database now.
No, we will create on a virtual machine, not we
Oh,
will not
yes.
we are not going to take SQL database from Azure. Okay, we'll create our own. Yeah,
Function apps.
yeah, remove that. Azure Active Directory, we don't need.
Security
Mm.
center.
Yeah, we don't need security center. We don't need monitor
Advisor.
advisor. Yeah, good. On the search box on the top, you have type in disk, 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 and take that one. Very good. And again, search for a snapshot and take that one too. Very good, guys. Okay, so we only need these things for our SCCM lab. Okay, in case if we need some more options, we can take them later on. Fine. Now let's go to virtual machine. Okay, now after you created your Azure uh, resource group, let's go to virtual network. Just below virtual machine you have virtual network. Now we need to create one virtual network so that all our computers will get connected to that particular network. So click on add and click on type in SEA underscore CUS. Just the name, guys. Anything of your choice you may put here. So SEA means oh, actually we don't need to put SEA because SEA is for Southeast Asia. So type in CUS underscore VNet. Sorry, CUS Central US underscore VNet virtual network. So this network will be uh, we will be creating this network in Central US data center. Now address range, let's take 10 dot 10 dot 10 dot 0 dot 0 slash 16 16. So we are taking address range where we can have 65,536 IP address. This is the top level address range in which we are going to create multiple subnet, guys. Okay. So now associate this address range with the resource group, the one which we have created. Just below that you have resource group section. Choose RG underscore CUS. Okay, fine. Uh, Now below you have subnet, right? So the subnet name is default. So change it to CUS underscore subnet, Central US subnet. Just for the naming convention. So CUS means Central US, the location, subnet. Now the first subnet, what will be the first subnet in this network, guys? Who are from networking background? Anyone? Any? Okay, so the subnet is going to be the 10.10.1.0. So these things are not related to SCCM, guys. These are related to networking. So we are creating the first subnet in that address range slash 24 slash
Oh, sorry.
24. Okay, so in this subnet we can have 256 IP address.
Is there an issue here, Kashif?
Address
Overlaps the.
space overlaps with 10 dot in virtual network in SEA. Oh, but those are two different location altogether. Okay, let's take 10.11 instead of 10.0. Let's take 10.11. No. That was good. 10.11 because in SEA we already have the same range. That's the reason it is giving you that warning message. So 10.11. Yeah, and below take 10.11. No, 10.11, not 10.10.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so the address range is 10.11.0.0, and out of that address range we are creating the first subnet, that is 10.11.1.0. So in this range I can have 256 computers IP address, I mean. Now click on create. Okay, so the network is getting created, guys. Now let's create our virtual machines. So to create virtual machines, we'll go to virtual machine. Now what all things we need, guys? We need 3 servers and 1 client computer. Now, the first machine is going to be domain controller, right? So choose virtual machine name, type in DC. Not there. At the right hand side, you have form. You need to fill that form. Yeah. CUS is the resource group. Virtual machine name. So DC, domain controller. Region, you take central US.
Underscore.
No, 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 no. Below you have region, right?
Oh yes, sorry. Yeah. Which part?
Central US. Okay. Availability option, the default one, whatever it is coming. That's fine. Image. We need to take the image. Windows Server 2012 R2 data center. Now, name of this, the user account. So to log into this computer, you need one username and password. So let's create one user and password. Ray is going to be your username. Just type in Ray there. No, small, don't put capital. And choose a new password.
Okay. Best be 12 characters long.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, make a note of your password. Okay.
Yes.
Now, public inbound port, so that you can connect to this computer from outside. So you need to enable one port, that is RDP, remote desktop connection port. So choose allow selected ports and choose RDP. Go up, scroll up and click on management. Now, boot diagnostic, turn that off. We don't need that one, because if you choose that one, Microsoft will, Azure will charge you for that service. Now click on review plus create. Now it is going to charge you 0.1260 US dollar per hour. So you are on pay as you go account. So you have to use these resources very carefully. Okay. If you are Once you are done with your practical session and your assignment, you make sure you stop all the servers. Okay, click on create. Now this is the first server we have created, that is DC. Now let's create two more server similarly in the same region. Let's go back to virtual machine. Two more server, one is DB database, another one is going to be SCCM server. Add. Don't worry about it, it will come in few minutes. Now the second one is resource group. Take the same resource group. Now you need to take the same resource group first. Yeah, very good. DB. Now choose the image. Windows Server 2012 R2 Data Center Edition. We can take 2016 as well, but 2016 is taking more memory and processor, so that actually does not run faster. Central US. Okay, same username and same password to connect to this box. Are you guys following, everyone, what we are doing? Anyone? Amit, Jagdish,
Hey,
Mansur?
Kashif,
Yes,
can you take over this remote?
I take the control.
Yes,
Okay,
I have to do something right quick.
okay. So I need to use this selected port so that we can remote into this device from outside, and we'll go to management and turn off this boot diagnostic and review plus create. So it is going to charge us somewhere around 0.1260 US dollar per hour. So it is Ray is on pay as you go account. His first 30 days is expired already, and he has converted his subscription from free trial to pay as you go. Pay as you go means whatever the uh, resources you utilize in Azure, Microsoft is going to charge you based on the usage, uh, based on the usage hours or minutes. So for other people who are on free trial, they don't have to worry about it for the first 30 days. But for pay as you go account, you have to make sure you are using the resources carefully. Once you are done with the session, you will have to stop the server, otherwise they will keep on charging. So when you stop it, then for that time, if the server is stopped for 10 hours, they are not going to charge you for that. But if it is turned on, they will keep on deducting, keep on charging, billing you for that. So that's how we use pay as you go account, but not free trial. Free trial is fine for the first 30 days. Now we'll need to add one more server, and that's going to be resource group is this one, SCCM primary site 1, for example. We are anything of your choice. I just gave SCCM PS1. Now the location is going to be Central US, and image Windows Server 2012 R2. What did I do? Once you have chosen these things, you need to give the username and password. Ray, can you put the password there, please? The same password what you have used for other two servers. Okay, no worries. Ray SCCM @123. Okay, so maybe 4. Ray SCCM @1234. Allow selected ports so that we can connect it from outside. And once you are done, you need to click on this management, turn off the boot diagnostic, review plus create. So we have created 3 servers. Now the last one is going to be the Windows 10 client computer. So this is going to be the last one. You can say client 1, right? Or let's say Win 10. It's going to be the same location, Central US. And Windows 10. I'm gonna take Windows 10 1803. Now you see the RAM and processor is 2-core processor and 7 GB of RAM. This is a little expensive, so I'm not gonna use the expensive one. So I'm gonna change the size to the cheapest one. So there is one which is, yeah, this one CPU and 3.5 GB of RAM, or maybe this one. This is going to cost somewhere around $54 if you keep the servers turned on for the whole month. This is the monthly data, guys. So fine, I'm gonna select Ray SCCM @1234. Same password in that box. Allow the selected ports, RDP, and review plus turn off the boot diagnostic and review plus create. Anyone has any confusion so far? What we did? Amit, Dilip, Mansoor?
Everything is okay, Kasif.
Okay, Dilip? Dilip, I can't hear you. Okay, not sure what happened with him. So far what we have created, we created 3 servers and 1 client computer. Now we have to make sure all the computers are pingable and connect, you can connect to these computers. So you see these are running means these servers are already turned on and you can connect to this computer. Now when you are done with your session, you right click and stop the server. You need to make sure you stop it. When you stop it, then the resources what you are using, like RAM, processor, they will be free, and that will be utilized by someone else. So you will not be charged during the time when the servers are stopped. So I'm gonna click on connect and download RDP. Basically it gives you the public IP address, and connect. Now Ray, can you put your username and password, please? Ray, you there? Okay, looks like Ray is not there. Okay, so not sure what is the password of this, because I know the password for only two computers, SCCM PS1 and Win 10. Let me just reset the password then. Reset password, where is that? So I'm just resetting the password for database computer. Similarly, I'm going to reset the password for domain controller. Ray is the username, and RAYSCCM@1234. RAYSCCM. Update. So still resetting the password. Okay, so still resetting the password. I'll have to wait for some more time because this has not given me the successful message yet. Okay, VM has reported a failure when the processing execution cannot update the remote desktop setting. Administrator account, system reflection target, exception has been thrown. System runtime. The password does not meet. Oh, password does not meet the password policy requirement. Very good. Gray, are you there? Let's try this. Okay, so it got successfully reset for domain controller. Okay, so let's connect to the domain controller. I mean DC. We have not made it as a domain controller yet. So right click on DC and connect. Right click and connect. The moment you click on connect, it will give you RDP file, the public IP address, and click on connect. You choose the username and password which you have used during the setup and click yes. So it's logging in. Now once you have this server up and running, you need to do some basic configuration before you start making the server as domain controller. So I'll have to go to local server. So in local server, I just verify the name. The name is DC, domain controller. That is fine. Install updates. So it is installing the updates from outside internet. We don't want the computer to take anything from internet. I mean any updates from internet, because we will be creating our internal WSUS and SCCM server, and that will be deploying the patches to the devices. So I'm gonna change the setting to never check for update. That means for update, it is not going to go outside. So it will internal server will be pushing the updates to all the computers. Second thing is IE enhanced security. That is for internet. In case if you would like to go out to the internet, it will keep on prompting you that do you really want to go to this website. So I have turned off that pop-up, so it won't pop up again. So these are the two things we have to do, and the other one is Ethernet. Currently you see IPv6 is also enabled. IPv6 is not required here. So I'm going to uncheck this IPv6 and click OK. And yeah, everything is all set. Now we have to make a make one domain controller, because that's a prerequisite for SCCM, guys. Without domain controller, SCCM is not going to function. So we have to have a domain controller. Domain controller is a server which keeps all the user, computer, security group, policies, related, forest, uh, domain, all those things are stored there, so that all the authentication, user authentication or system level authentications are done through domain controller. So it is pretty much necessary, and it has to be present before you start installing SCCM. So this is the first step. What we are going to do is to make this server as a domain controller. So to do that, we have to go to add roles and feature, and next. Now name of the server is DC, IP address, and next we need to choose the second option, which says Active Directory Domain Services. So Active Directory Domain Services, the moment you choose that, this will give you a pop-up to select all the associated feature. I'm going to add feature, next, and install. This is a prerequisite. You have to install this role to promote this server as a domain controller. Without this role, you will not be able to uh, promote any server to a domain controller. This is a prerequisite, guys. Clear? Similarly, until this is getting installed, I'm gonna connect to other computers. So right click on DB and connect. Connect. With the username and password. Now, whatever the basic configuration we have done on DC, the same configuration we have to do it on DB, database. So in Server Manager, I'm going to local server at the left hand side. And then click on this one, install updates automatically. So we don't want this server to go out and take the update from outside. So never check for update. Second thing is IE enhance security. So we are going to turn off that one. For user is fine, but for at least for administrator, it has to be turned off, so that you won't get a pop-up if you are going to any website. Ethernet has IPv6 enabled. I'm going to disable IPv6. And that's okay. Now let's go back to Azure portal and connect to SCCM PS1 and download RDP file. So this is the third server we are connecting to. Oh, the password is different for this computer. I remember, yeah, Ray SCCM @1234. Yes. Now at the left hand side, local server, same configuration we have to do here too. It is going outside, checking for the internet, checking for updates from internet. We are going to change it to never check for update. Then IE enhanced security, we'll turn that off. And IPv6 is going to be removed. Okay, so the configurations are done, the basic configuration. Now let's go back to domain DC and see whether the installation of that role, Active Directory Domain Services, is done or not. Is that installed or not? So that is done, guys. Okay, so this role is successfully installed. Now you have option to promote this server to a domain controller. So I'm going to click on that. Now currently we don't have any existing forest and existing domain. Nothing is there, right? So we are going to choose add a new forest, and the name of the forest, name of the root domain, anything of your choice. If you have purchased your own domain from a domain registrar like GoDaddy or HostGator, then you can put the public domain here. I'm going to choose lab.com as an internal domain. Next. Now the functional level of this domain is going to be Windows Server 2012 R2. That's fine. It is also going to be a DNS server. We are going to create one internal DNS so that all the computers will be communicating to each other internally. If you don't create the internal DNS, what will happen? Every computer will go out to the public DNS to talk to, when you ping any computer, or when you try to connect to internal computer from different, from one computer to another computer internally, they will not be able to connect because each time it will go out to the public DNS. So we don't want that. We want an internal DNS. So we'll leave that as it is, and the password is the disaster recovery password in case the domain controller is crashed and you are going to restore domain controller. So at that point of time, you need one password, and the same password, I just put the same password of this computer, the password which I logged in with this, uh, logged into this computer, same password. Anything of your choice you may put, but you have to make a note of it. In case disaster happens, you have to remember that password and use the same password during the disaster and recovery. So next. Now currently we don't have DNS, so there is no point creating a DNS delegation. Next. Now NetBIOS name is a program which helps multiple computers to talk to each other. In case we don't have DNS server, then NetBIOS name will act as a DNS, but it is very outdated technology, and this is not being used anymore. So, but Microsoft has still kept it in case if you don't have DNS. This will help you to get the computers talking to each other. Next. These are the location for database logfile and sysvol for Active Directory. That is as it is. Next. This is the summary what we have chosen so far. Next. And that is checking the prerequisite whether this server is capable enough or eligible enough to become a domain controller or not. So it is saying all prerequisite check passed successfully. You are getting some couple of warning message because I don't have static IP address and I don't have the DNS. So that's okay, but all prerequisite checks passed successfully. I just have to click on install. So that's how you create your domain controller, guys. Anyone has any question? Amit, Ray,
No,
Dheeraj?
Kasif.
Give me 1 minute.
Hello. Hello. Kashif.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, hi, Ray.
Hey,
Can you hear
everything
me?
okay? Yeah.
Yeah, so what we have done, since you were not available, we have created 3 servers and 1 client computer.
Okay.
Okay. And DC is on DC we have added one role called Active Directory Domain Services,
Uh-huh.
and we are promoting that server as a domain controller at the moment.
Okay.
Okay. Now, since you were not present there, I actually didn't know the password of DB and DC, so I had to
Uh,
reset the password.
okay, sorry.
No worries. So this is the password for DB and DC.
Okay.
DB and DC, but we will change that password. And for SCCM and Win10, the password is different actually. The password is Ray SCCM @1234.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna save this on your desktop so that you can
Yeah.
use this later. Azure password. Azure VM password. Okay.
Okay.
Now, this is getting promoted to domain controller. Once that is done, we are
Uh,
going to uh, join all the computers to the domain. Now, since we are in creating one internal DNS server, so currently, what is the IP address of this computer? IP config is 10.11.1.4, right? So it is our DNS server IP address, guys. So we have the DNS ready. So what we are going to do, we'll go to virtual network, and in virtual network we are going to use this CUS. Currently all the computers are connected to this network, CUS VNet, and we have one option called DNS server. Currently all the computers which are connected to this LAN network, they are pointing to Azure provided DNS server. That means internet DNS. We don't want computers to connect to internet DNS. Rather, internal DNS. So 10.11.1.0. Sorry, 4. This is the internal DNS server IP address. Clear, guys?
Yes.
So all the computers connected to this LAN network will be pointing to this as your DNS server. 10.11.1. This is the domain DC IP address. Now, to make sure the IP address of DC does not change, we'll go to virtual machine. So, and we'll click on DC and we'll click on networking, and then we'll click on this one, network interface DC32, and IP configuration. And currently it is dynamic, so anytime it may change. Okay, normally it does not change, but we don't want to take any chances because this has to be a static IP address. So the domain controller IP address will be static, 10.11.1.4. It is not going to change anymore, so we just save it. Now let's go to virtual machine and restart all the computers, because currently the DNS server, wait.
Sorry.
Currently the DNS server for DB and DC is still pointing to Azure provided, the internet one, right? So whatever the changes we have made, that is not replicate that will not replicate in the computers until we restart the computers. So I'm going to right click on DB and restart. DC is also already restarted, so let's leave DC but restart all other computers, so that the computers will be able to get the new information about the DNS, that the new DNS server is the internal one, not the external one. Are you guys following what we have done so far? Amit?
Yes, Kasif. Actually, now I'm just watching everything thoroughly, and after this, I will do it because side by side we cannot do, both simultaneously. That's why.
Yeah, but you understood the concept, right?
Yeah.
Steps is fine. You will watch the step in the recording and you will do the perform the same step. But you have to understand the concept what we are doing.
Yes, correct.
So I want you to create your Azure account today, free trial one, the
Yeah,
30 days
sure.
free one, okay?
Yeah.
And do all the steps. And you too, Mansoor, if you are going to create one. And Dheeraj, you are going to do local lab setup, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So for local, you need to download one VMware or which one? Oracle VirtualBox or Hyper-V, anything of your choice.
Hyper-V. I'll be using Hyper-V.
Very good. So Hyper-V, and create 3 servers and 1 client computer. Join them to the domain and keep it ready for tomorrow.
Sure. That's
So now are you getting some relief in office or still the same workload?
more workload than before, but yeah, a relief from the problem which I was going on.
The WSS issue is fixed?
No, not yet. But it is performing. It is
Good
not
now.
like people are not able to get the patches. Though it's still performing, but it is not like it has to be. So I am not getting time to look into. So maybe I can look after some time.
Okay, fine, no worries. Okay guys, so let me connect to all the computers again, because we restarted the computers, so we lost the connectivity. Now, now we have to use domain account because domain is already created, and that is lab. Ray is the username and the password. Password is going to be, this is going to be our domain password. Okay, later you don't have to use this one after joining into the domain. Okay, so great. Now DC is connected. Now similarly, I'm gonna connect to DB. Um, now let's join database to domain, because this is still workgroup computer. We need to make sure the computers are joined to the domain. Okay, so this is database. I'm going to click on workgroup and click on change domain lab.com. This is your domain name. Use the domain admin account to join the computer to the domain. Click OK. Click OK and close it and restart. So the database is joined to the domain successfully. Now I'm gonna connect to SCCM and join that server to the domain. The password is different. Ray SCCM @1234. So to join this computer to the domain, I'm gonna click on workgroup, change, and in domain put lab.com and put the username and the domain admin password. So this is also joined to the domain. So we have successfully joined two computers to the domain, database and SCCM. Now the third one, that's Windows 10. Connect. RAYSCCM @1234. It's gonna take a long time to log in, so I'm gonna minimize this for now. Now you see guys, we have already joined two computers to the domain, and you will be able to see them in Active Directory. So tools, Active Directory, user and computers. Expand this lab.com and view advanced feature. Expand lab.com, and in computers you should see database and SCCM. Clear guys? Now I'm gonna create one organization unit called SCCM lab. Okay, Now in this, I'm gonna create two user account. One is your SCCM admin, SCCM ADMIN, and I'm gonna choose the same password. Okay, because what is this? This is not good at all. Not taking. Okay. 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 So fine. So I cannot use this password. Okay. So one user account is created called SCCM admin. Second user account is going to be SQL admin. These are the service accounts we are creating, guys. SQL admin, next, and the password training@123. Okay, and both of them should be added to a group, that is domain admin. So we are adding them to domain admin group. Okay, so we have to make sure these, that's not mandatory, but you have to give admin rights to these to these users on SCCM and database. So rather I gave domain admin rights. So now these two accounts are created and the password is training@123. So I'm gonna create one more user account for Windows 10. Let's say for example user 1. Okay, next. Okay, so 3 accounts we have created so far. Now to log into DC, you need to use the username as user ID as a Ray, and the password is okay. To log into DB, the username is going to be SQL admin, right? And this is the password. To log into SCCM PS1, you need to use SCCM admin, and this is the password. To log into Windows 10, it's going to be user1, and this is the password. Let's not use this one. Okay, Ray, is it clear? So to log into domain controller, you need to use these username and password. To log into database and user. Ray, is it clear? Any question, or anyone has any question? No one?
No.
Very good. Now, so we just created three user account. One is user one and SCCM admin to log into SCCM admin, and SQL admin to log into database. Okay. Now let's join Windows 10 to the domain 2. To join Windows 10 to domain, we need to go to right click on this PC and properties, change setting, change lab.com. Also give this user remote rights so that you will be able to log into this computer from you can log into this computer remotely, or give admin rights. So let's give admin rights. Okay, guys. So we are done with today's session. I'll just give you a brief what we have done, and then we will wrap it up. Now, once you're done, make sure you right click and stop them, because otherwise Microsoft will keep on charging you if you don't stop the resources. Okay, so I'm gonna stop Windows 10 too. So it will take some few minutes to get stopped. I'm gonna share my screen and show you the what we have done. So we actually logged into Azure, and there we created one virtual network. We created one virtual network, and we created one server, and no, 3 servers and 1 client computer. So DB, DC, SCCM PS1 and Windows 10. All of them are joined to the same LAN network. Then we promoted this as a domain controller, right? And we joined all the computers to the domain. So domain name was lab.com, right? So we joined DB, DC, and Windows 10, all of them to lab.com. And then we stopped the servers. That's what we have done so far. So that's what we have written. I will share this document to you guys. So what we did, we subscribed with Azure free trial, created 4 virtual machines, put them on the same LAN network and same resource group, installed Active Directory domain services role on domain computer, promoted that computer as a domain controller, and the domain name we have chosen as lab.com. Configured DNS in the virtual network so that all the computers should point to the local DNS, not internet DNS. Restarted and joined them to the domain. So today is 9th January 2019. Any confusion, guys? Anyone?
No, Kausif.
Ray, you there? Okay. Amit, Dheeraj,
Yeah, I'm okay,
all
Kausif.
good?
Yeah, all good.
Okay, guys. So I want everyone to perform the same task, and yeah, make sure you guys are on the same page. So tomorrow we'll perform the next step. That is, we'll start installation of all the prerequisite, and we'll set up the SCCM server. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Thank you, everyone. Thanks.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Kausif. Thanks, Kausif.